In 1991, Dragon Ball Z transformed the face of entertainment with the debut of the Super Saiyan transformation, and where it might not have invented the idea of a power-up transformation, it sure as heck set the trend for it. It felt like almost every anime had to have a very special transformation power-up of their own, and so with its mass popularity, it makes sense that its influence would drip into the world of video games. So today I thought I would look at Super Saiyan in video games, excluding Dragon Ball games of course. Keep in mind transformations like Devil May Cry's Devil Trigger don't necessarily make the cut. You'll know a Super Saiyan like transformation when you see it. Spiky hair, gold locks, the regular. First off, let's get the most blatant reference to Super Saiyan out the way, Super Sonic. Introduced in Sonic the Hedgehog 2, all you need to do is collect the 7 Dragon Balls, I mean the Chaos Emeralds. From there, you're basically invincible to every enemy. I don't know if anyone at Sega has ever officially confirmed this as a reference, but I mean, come on, just look at it. And this would become a staple transformation for Sonic, carrying over as an in-game transformation for many of his games. But if we jump over to Capcom, we have Wang Tang in Power Stone. Now, it's really hard to explain the impact that Power Stone had on the gaming industry, especially in the early 2000s. Basically, if you wanted to create a fun, licensed party fighting game, your choices were either making a Smash Bros. Clone or a Power Stone clone, and trust me, there were a lot of Power Stone clones. But among Power Stone's cast of characters, martial artist Wang Tang featured a transformation changing his Black Locks golden and allowing him to use a powerful aerial super move. Then there's Mystical Ninja starring Goemon, and this is a childhood classic for me, being a solid 3D platformer with fun mechanics and just overall being pretty silly. Well, among the crazy number of obtainable gadgets and abilities is the Sudden Impact ability, which equips Goemon with the classic Super Saiyan hair and allows him to push heavy objects. And then there's Dragon Quest. So Akira Toriyama served as main concept artist for the Dragon Quest series, so there's automatically a direct line to the series. Well, Dragon Quest VIII introduces the tension system, allowing the player to continually power up at the sacrifice of a turn. Well, raising your tension enough will activate max tension, which for the player character spikes your hair up and covers you in a purple aura, very reminiscent of the Super Saiyan transformation. Outside of player characters, there's Goriath from Kirby's Return to Dreamland. As a boss character, Goriath is basically one big reference to Dragon Ball. He's a martial arts monkey that shoots ki blasts, which seems pretty blatant, but just to hammer it home, he'll quickly switch on aggro mode, sporting that signature spiky yellow hair. Now there's also No More Heroes, Strawberry on the Shortcake move. So No More Heroes is an action series pretty much built on references to nerd culture, and so it makes sense we'd see a potential reference to Dragon Ball. Well, this Dark Side mode ability, when activated, gives you increased speed as you cut down enemies and, you know, the familiar Super Saiyan hair. Okay, so at the point of me recording this, I've already recorded the video and put in my findings for this. But between people on Twitter kind of answering my question and throwing in some additional ones and just stuff I've stumbled upon on the internet, I'm starting to find a couple more that are either I'm a little bit iffy on, but it's still worth kind of talking to. And I'm sure after I record this, I'm just gonna stumble upon more, because Super Saiyan is one of the most basic references that you can make. First one, and this one's not even up for debates, but Disgaea 3, there's a cutscene here that's 100% a reference to Dragon Ball. As far as I know, in Disgaea 3, you can't actually turn Super Saiyan. This was just a cheeky reference, but still worth putting in here. Then there's Ezreal from League of Legends, and I'm pretty sure that there's already a Goku reference in League of Legends, either that or a Sun Wukong, so Journey to the West reference. But apparently one of the abilities of Ezreal kind of mimics turning Super Saiyan in a way that is not just spiky hair aura, but it looks like a Super Saiyan. Somebody brought up Final Fantasy IX Zidane's transformation. And I was a little bit iffy on this because on one hand, he's a monkey kid with a tail and powering up into a more powerful version of him with the aura and everything. And so in that case, that seems like pretty clearly like that could be a Dragon Ball reference, right? But then also I think to like Final Fantasy VI with Terra and her Esper like transformation. I'm like, is that just not like a continuation of that? I don't know. I'll leave that up to you guys to decide. Somebody brought up Cartoon Network Punch Time Explosion, Billy and Mandy special. Does this count? I don't even know, given it's from a TV episode, the Chicken Ball Z TV episode. That's clearly it is a Dragon Ball Z reference. Like, there's no debate about that. But that kind of opens up a can of worms because, like, there's a lot of shows that have Dragon Ball Z references. One of the common ones is Kids Next Door with that Super Saiyan reference. So it's in video game format. You are turning Super Saiyan, but I don't know if I want to count that because Grand Adventures of Billy and Mandy and Cartoon Network, they're not video games first, they're cartoons first, and yeah, I don't really think that counts as much. Then there's the Kirby ice transformation. This doesn't really count in my book. Like, the only really similarity is the, spiky hair, and Super Saiyans don't have like ice powers like off the top. So I just really don't count it. But like I said during the actual video, there is like a actual reference to Dragon Ball Z and Super Saiyan that's pretty clear cut, so I don't think Kirby is lacking. There is a reference in Street Fighter 6 and like this official art where you have Blanca in a karate gi, which is clearly supposed to be like look like Goku's gi. He has his spiky yellow hair, which I mean Blanca always has, but like this is an obvious reference. So like if you're looking for a Street Fighter Dragon Ball cross, and that's kind of what you've got for now. Moving into something that's a little bit less of a reference, but something I think could be, I'm not particularly sure, Dynasty Warrior Strikeforce. While the idea of a single character wiping out hundreds of enemies is crazy, the Dynasty Warrior series keeps the action a little more grounded than the more fantastical Dragon Ball Z. That is until the spin-off series Dynasty Warrior Strikeforce, which introduces awakenings, which are like Super Saiyan-like transformations along with the ability to fly and dash around the battlefield. Probably the least Super Saiyan coded of all of these, but I still wanted to include it because I really like this game and you should play this game. It is basically Dragon Ball Z for Dynasty Warriors. And that's all I could actually find, but the world of gaming is huge, and I assume that there are a lot more than this. Did I miss anything? Let me know in the comments, and maybe also subscribe to the channel. Anyway, thank you for watching, and bye.